Hey, what's up, guys? Cool Dude here. And today I have a 4v4 scrim. This is not a CB. This is SYS, obviously, the team I'm on, versus zNS. zNS has closed down recently. I believe part of the reason why they closed down was because of the scrim, the series of scrims we played against. The other team was arguing heavily after we scrimmed. After we ended up playing, they were arguing. They just weren't getting along very well. It was as a team as me, Tay, Sharpness, basketball. That's four guys, 4v4, and the other teams four was obviously Dissective, Non-Beliefs, Breaking Air, and Crimson Matic. Now, after this match, we figured out that this was going to be our team two. Even though me and Tage are team one, it wouldn't make me and him play every day, so it wouldn't make sense to have a completely different team two. It's never like me and him are never going to be on. So, just the commentary topic of this video is going to be the difference between a pub stomper and a competitive player. Now, by no means am I just a pub stomper or am I just a competitive player. I play competitive because pub stomping gets boring, and I play pub stomping because sometimes competitive just gets boring and you sometimes take too long to find a match. Now, the difference I see between a pub stomper and a competitive player is I find a competitive player, being me in the competitive scene for at least a year now, I find that when you play competitive, the difference between the two players especially is just the level of communication. The level of communication compared to a pub stomping team to a non-pub stomping team to a pub stomping player to a non-pub stomping player, it's a huge difference in the ways that people communicate. What I mean by this is pub stompers don't really make as many call-outs. They don't really make as many choke point call-outs. They kind of just focus on getting kills and stats, where the comp players, they don't really care about stats, especially in hardpoint. They just throw themselves at the hill. Now, the biggest difference that I see, in my opinion, between a pub player and a comp player is when a pub player first starts to play comp, they kind of play about their stats. Like, they kind of do stupid things. Like, they challenge a lot. Like, comp players don't really challenge. Challenging is when you're one shot and you jump out at the guy when you're one shot. Comp players don't seem to do that. And the other thing that comp players do that a lot of pub players don't do is they try to level up their team. Like, coming from me, I started out pub stomping for the longest time, and then I'm slowly making my way into competitive. Now, the difference between the pub players and the comp players, the most specific thing that I can point out is the team setups for a comp player to a pub player. Most comp players, they don't run all four ARs. Like, if you look in the kill feed, I'm running AR. Sharpness is on objective with a sub. Tage is AR. So we have three ARs and a sub, which is kind of iffy. But for me, this match, I started out playing sub, and my MSMC wasn't really working out too well for me. I guess maybe I didn't connect well to host or whatever. So I just switched to AR. I played like a Slayer support role, and I let Sharpness take up the objective. Now, pub players, they don't really make that change up. Like, to me, what most pub players do is everyone's usually four ARs in a pub. They just use the most dominant weapon. Obviously, in this game, our most dominant weapons is probably, like, I don't know, the MSMC, just the MSMC, N94, M8A1. Those are the most powerful weapons in the game by a long run. And it's pretty much like when you run into a pub, you'll see like four guys with an MSMC sometimes, and like one guy with an AR and the other guy with a shotgun for some nonsense like that. The other thing too that I notice about pub players to comp players is comp players are very humble with themselves. They don't really talk big about their stats. They don't talk about their accomplishments. As a pub player, first thing you come in the lobby, oh, I'm gonna fucking smack you guys because I dropped over 100 kills last match. I dropped 100 kills, so we got the kids that didn't have thumbs, but I'm gonna say they had thumbs just so I look good. Now, that's kind of a pub player. A lot of pub players do that. Comp players, now that I started playing comp, I'm a lot more humble with myself as well. To be honest, when you start playing comp, you don't really care about streaks anymore. You just care about winning. You just play for the win. And most pub players these days just play for their KDs. They don't really care about anything else. Now, that's just my opinion on the difference between a comp player to a pub player. It's kind of just a different commentary topic I just wanted to address. I went 25-9, 7 caps, 10 defends. We pretty much we 69-point class, 69-point club these kids. This is part of the reason why they closed down. I'm not trying to go at their necks, but I'm just saying if you guys are gonna close down because you lost in a scrim, that's kind of pathetic, and you shouldn't have been around in the first place. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is Captain Cool Dude.